Well, that's the great segue for the next section here. Obviously, economic development is important, not just for the colleges, but for people to just find jobs and for a variety of different kinds of programs that you would have to be dealing with as governor. What do you see as the key to economic development in Tennessee? What would you bring to the state?
So a production agenda, very different in West, Middle, and East, the three grand divisions, the three stars, and the three states within a state is all for a purpose because the people are similar, but man, our state is very different. I mean, the needs of West, Middle, and East are very different. In the mountains and the rivers of East Tennessee, where I have lived all my life and where we've done a lot of good economically, you know, we have the Oak Ridge National Laboratory, served as a great economic engine. You have to take your resources, kind of capitalize on those resources. And actually in Memphis, they have the airport, which is the busiest airport in the world between 10 p.m. and 6 a.m. They call it an airtropolis. Expect a full city to grow up around it in the future, just east of Memphis. But it is, Memphis should be the economic hub of the Mid-South. And if they could get through the political turmoil, I think they're positioned to do that. But I would say that Tennessee overall, in manufacturing, agriculture, and infrastructure could really lead the country because we have a right to work state, we have a high quality of life, we have a low cost of living, we have a dedicated workforce, although workforce development needs to improve. We need to enhance our educational system so that our workers will be ready for the Hemlocks of the world, not we have to give you a mission of bringing us, you know, 5 years in a row of graduates. And in Chattanooga, we saw on Volkswagen, we had everything they needed, but we still were working on bringing the workforce up to par. But I think we realistically by 2020, which is my vision, move from third in automotive manufacturing in the country to first. You may say, wow, how could that happen? Well, they're not going to build cars in the upper Midwest. And I know a lot about advanced manufacturing in the South, and I had my whole technology corridor in Greenville, South Carolina, at the iCar partnership at Clemson, and had the editor of Automotive News down there the very day that Volkswagen came to Chattanooga knocking on the door saying, Toyota decided to go to Mississippi, can we look at that site? And we closed that deal. We learned a lot from Toyota coming in second. We closed that deal with Volkswagen. We realistically, in 10 years, and I was with Nissan yesterday, the plug-in cars, plug-in hybrids, and they're just going outright electric. And we are a demonstration state on the electric cars. We could be the #1 automotive manufacturer by 2020 in the country, which is exciting. We can go from third in green energy technologies to first. We could grow our agriculture sector, and I've got a new one because I've seen this and I've done this and I know this. The defense sector could grow in Tennessee substantially between Fort Campbell and Huntsville, Alabama, Redstone Arsenal, up and down the 65 corridor. West of there, in some of the rural counties headed east towards Jackson, McNairy County, Tipton County, we have Hardin County, we have, for instance, unmanned aerial vehicle industry is exploding over there. They got a company that's that actually surveil those pirates off the east coast of Somalia. And when they said it was from Savannah, everybody assumed it was Savannah, Georgia. The company's in Savannah, Tennessee. Largest payroll in the 6-county area. Defense technology, defense growth. That allows your economy to be more resilient, so that the swings of the economy, you know, if you're all in the auto sector and it goes down and you don't have diversification, you hit harder. So this is the future of the Tennessee economy. It's going to take leadership. It's going to take a good, limited government agenda so that the people that are investing know we're not going to raise your taxes. You know, we're not going to lure you in here and then hit you hard. And that we got the dedicated workforce. People will come to work in Tennessee, and we do have that cost of living, et cetera, right down the line. We have everything they need. And hold up the beauty of Tennessee with country music and Christian music and the mountains and the lakes and football on Saturday and Sunday in our state. I mean, we've got a lot to offer.
Well, let's hit this one last big topic here in the few moments that we've got left. Let's talk about health care. Obviously, health care is all over the news lately on the national level, but on the state level, what are your takes on preventative health care? How will the federal plan affect Tennessee? Let's spend a few minutes talking about that.
2 hats. I've got another 16 months in the Congress and then running for governor. And when people talk health care in Tennessee, they're almost always talking about TennCare because it's the part of health care which is really health care for the poor, the indigent is what TennCare is. It's Medicaid in other states, it's TennCare in our state, and it's grown too much. And the only way to get our arms around it, frankly, is to have Tennesseans become more healthy. Matter of fact, all government health care programs are growing too fast because we're not healthy enough. Other countries are much healthier than we are, even though we've got the technology, we got the pharmaceutical drugs, we've got the doctors and the nurses, but they actually move around more and they take better care of themselves and they eat better. And we need preventive measures. Plus we need mammograms and checkups and go to your doctor before it's too late where it costs so much more money. So prevention is the solution, but you know you're going to have certain healthcare problems. What we do is going to be predicated somewhat on Washington does, and there's a huge backlash, as you know, to the Washington healthcare proposal. Not all of it, but the piece that the government would take over part of our healthcare system. And no Republican created that fear. That's fear that the people have of losing their own healthcare. This is the reason it became so intense with the people is they don't want the same government that couldn't get ice and water to the Superdome after Katrina to be in charge of their health care. And of course, we know that the government has Medicare, and we know the government has veterans benefits and Medicaid or TennCare and S-CHIP, which means half the population already receives some form of government health care. But to take it into the other half and to get between the doctor and the patient and to have these extraneous things added, like one section of this bill does say that Medicare will reimburse end-of-life consultations. What a creepy phrase that is. You know, like, why would Medicare reimburse end-of-life consultations unless the government was going to condone a conversation where you can say to the family, you know, you really should just go ahead and turn this person off. You know, or maybe they've outlived their usefulness. Well, that's not our way. Let the family decide. Let the doctor do this, not have somebody intervene from the outside. And so these are the scary things about this. There's a big backlash. I don't know how it's going to end up, but obviously compromise is going to be the minimum, because I don't think the country's going to let even this new majority with these huge numbers run off and create a government-run healthcare system. August has been a definitive month in this. Something else is going to happen, and compromise is going to have to set in. The question is, what is the compromise? And the devil will be in the details, but it'll impact us in Tennessee for a long time. That's why it concerns a lot of our fellow citizens.
Well, let me ask you then this one last question to wrap us up for the day. Got several very interesting ideas. How then is the campaign going? Are you having a good time spreading the message? Is it getting out?
Yeah, it's really good, because I'm kind of a high energy person. I love people. I've campaigned hard. You know, one thing about a 2-year House term is I'm always campaigning and have been for 15 years. Now I get to take that all the way across the state, and we've been in 56 counties. And a good campaign will allow you to listen, learn, and lead. So I'm in some unconventional places listening to what the problems are, trying to come up with solutions. And that's exactly, this prepares you to be governor. So it's good from two standpoints, but it wears people out and the money kind of runs thin. So I'm running the Populist People's Campaign on the ground in this RV, going town to town, meeting with people, so that the big money doesn't drown me later on. But I'm having to let people know there's big money in this race. And I just don't want the governorship to be bought. I want somebody to earn it. And so I tell people I'm on third base because I hit a triple. I wasn't born there.
Well, very good. Thank you so much for joining us today. If you would like more information on the Zach Wamp campaign for governor, you can log on to his website at zachwamp.com. We hope you will join us next time on Inside Politics.